volume is dying off. We went above it. We come back, tested it off a rejection candle. Ideal spot to take along right here. Up to whatever, I don't know. Really, you want to see volume less than this. Maybe once it got above this, then you could probably look for an exit. But still, that was pretty sporty. If this thing would pop at the open, I might get rid of some of these. I'm still holding several of them.
Oh, several. It's not even a number. It's several.
Yeah, I'm long 6 from 472.
Oh my god.
I cut size down tremendously though at the close yesterday. I've done got rid of several of them on the
Well,
way
yeah.
up.
What was your? I know. Yeah, you were working with more. What was your profit from those?
I don't know. I didn't really look, honestly. I was just cutting them. I mean, I was trading in blocks of 3. So I was just cutting blocks as they come up through some of the levels.
So that area right there, the rectangle box right there, is that just because of that volume that went like the top of that volume, the bottom of that volume? You're saying like
Yeah.
that's
Sellers would be trapped if we went higher prices right here. So not only would you have new buyers stepping in off the top of this box, you would have these sellers getting upside down in a position, and they'll become new buyers as well. Even more buyers, which will kind of entice a little bit of a short squeeze. But where is their max pain? That's yet to be determined. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
But all that idea is based around the premise of, unfortunately, traders, a lot of traders will sell the bottom and buy the top. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way it is, and they'll run price against them pretty hard.
No, I've never done that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant like buy the top and and then it just crash opposite direction. And vice versa. Sell it, buy at the bottom.
Yeah, that's part of the combine killer right here, man. This scenario you're seeing right here, part of it.
I took my profits for the day, so even if I don't get into another trade, I'm kind of happy.
That's the way to be.
Nice.
Oh god. Because I got in earlier and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and go for this, and then I moved up my stop just by like 2 ticks, and of course it hits it. So I only ended up taking like 3 points out of like out of 20, and I'm like, what do I bit?
I'm really looking to capture this deal. So I'll scroll back. Let me swap this to a 5-minute chart so you can kind of see what's going on here. So I took like this is the 9:30 open on the 1 minute. I mean, I'm showing you on the 5-minute, but this is the 1 minute like actual bar.
Mm.
Okay, this was the 4 o'clock bar, right? And basically this is kind of a gauge to tell me where we can find, what direction are we in, and where potentially traders might have got trapped. So when 9:30 rolls open, I'm going to mark that box and then extend it all the way out to 4 o'clock. So when it does come in.
What up, everyone?
What up? That'd been a good spot to exit that trade right there. If on this. Yeah, that would have been a good spot to exit. Somewhere up in this bar. If you were using, this is that trade. But there again, these daggum opens and stuff, man, they're just so hard to trade. But typically you can find where people might be trapped.
Looking like it's gonna be the shorts today by chance.
Yep. All right, so yeah, see how I captured that body of that candle? That's what I'm looking for right there to extend throughout the day.
What do you mean to extend throughout the day? So
That's going to tell me who's got trapped and who didn't get trapped. This thing might bounce right here at this box. Now, how odd is that? More volume on the second. Wow.
Oh, the VIX
More,
always gets level.
yeah, more volume on the second bar. Okay, well this box is going to have to get changed. My God. If we get above this box right here, you are going to see so many people get ran over.
Pretty nasty candle.
That is super nasty. God, even this third one is bigger than the incredible. Yeah, so it's the third one. It's right here, actually.
stuck in between those two.
Yeah, well, see, normally you would see the 930 open have the most amount of volume on it. It's 933 having the most amount of volume. So if we can get above this box, right? If we can get above this box, pull back into it, and show a rejection candle off of it with dying volume, this is a long all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like, something like this. If we can get above it, pull back into it, and then off to the races she goes. But all while you have to be mindful that volume has to be decreasing from here and price be able to push up and above.
What is it, Magnum? 6 or 14,534 should be the level. The Globex high to low.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even set those levels. I was trading this strategy here. I wasn't even looking at them other levels, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is. It's 534.
534.
That's the start of it.
Okay.
534 to 524. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that that pull up there. Looks like our puts and calls are bullish as well.
Yep. Pretty wild though to see the biggest volume come in. Literally not on the first bar.
Wasn't it like that yesterday? Second or third one as well?
I don't think so, was it? I don't know. It might have been. Hell, I can't remember. Maybe I do remember. I just wasn't paying attention. This is gonna tell me whether I need to kill my trade or not. That's what it's gonna do.
It's an interesting way to view it as well.
I mean, the idea is just to, obviously, if you can run price in whatever direction, um, from where the most people position themselves, like for instance, this would be the ideal situation, right? If you could, because you've got shorts piled in, assuming you got another down day. Well, if you squeeze the shorts, if you can get above this box and take back off, you've got new buyers. And then not only that, you've got all these sellers. Now they're become trapped. So you're going to have a short squeeze, right? And this thing's just going to trend up all day long, just squeezing the hell out of everybody.
Oh, the VIX is with the longs now as well.
I mean, I was using this guy's stuff, man. He's got some pretty sporty levels. But here's the levels that are above us, right? That was yesterday's high. So you've got this level, this level, this level, and up here. So I mean, we could squeeze big time if it does. It seems crazy to buy up here when we're down here, right? But you can't be sure that this thing isn't going to reject off the bottom of this box and just head lower. You know what I mean?
It's the risk.
Exactly. You got to know where to put your stop, right? Up here gives us a lot of information. Down here doesn't give us none, not really much at all. And we're kind of hovering around a pivot. So it really needs to if it's going to go up, it needs to go on up.
Magnum, you should start doing the grading in the like 5:30 in the morning, so that way you're 9:30, you take your lunch. Yeah, Magnum class.
I'm going to get stopped out right here. Most likely on this position.
Oh my god, it blew through those levels. Wow.
Yep.
Order filled.
Yep. And what about that? Yeah, so sellers are not trapped. They are certainly not trapped. So now we've determined a direction, right? Okay. So we know at this moment in time, down seems to be the way to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for trapped.
Buyers.
Yeah, we're going to look for trap buyers. Same deal. You look for a big spike in buying volume, and then you just mark your boxes up and you trade on the bottom side of it, on the way down. But like right here wouldn't be a good one because you made a higher volume bar right here. You'd want to see a big spike, maybe volume die off from here, and we could use this potentially as the zone to get below and sell off to. But this thing here, it should have not broke all these levels like this. That's crazy.
So wait, the people from yesterday, right? Your box from yesterday morning,
Yep.
is lining up where it's at right now.
Yeah. Well, it's actually below it. So I mean, it broke. It broke yesterday's close. It broke, and now it's broke yesterday morning's low.
120 points from the top of Globex, and we're starting to bounce apparently. That's a good time.
Yeah, that's damn near 100 points just from 9:30 to 10 minutes. See, the ES is trying to show that we're trying to trap sellers. Right? Price. So we draw our box up right here. Come back in. It didn't quite get to the box, but that's a hell of a rejection candle, right? And we're starting to move up. So you would have trapped all of these sellers. Like crazy.
So now that you have 2 boxes drawn, do you still wait for the top one to get broken and then use that as the bounce point, or are you going to use the bottom box?
Yeah, I mean, in order for me to feel confident that we've trapped sellers, I mean, really, we didn't trap no sellers right here because we made lower lows, you know.
Right.
So what if we continue to make lower lows in price and higher lows, whatever? I'm going to be looking for trap buyers at the moment. I mean, it sucks because the ES is showing the exact opposite, right? It's showing, what we were looking for on the NQ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Volume dying off, coming back in, test and take off.
Okay.
Let me take a. Trying to figure out if I want to take a long on ES. A little too late at the party. I think I'm gonna look for another opportunity up there somewhere, to trap some more sellers or something. But right now, as it stands on the NQ, I have to.
What's up, Moon? By the way,
What up? What up? How are you?
fine. Better Tuesday than last Tuesday already.
Good. Good. Fantastic. Good to hear. Green, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah.
Magnum, are you looking at the VIX anymore?
Yep, I'm looking at it right now, actually.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah. Yeah. So this being a pivot, right? These levels.
Yeah.
If we can come back into that and maybe pivot off of it, I'll look maybe more so for a long um in relation to the NQ. I just don't like the NQ the way it just kind of violated everything. You know what I mean? It just ripped below.
I mean, I'm under the same impression as you at the moment. It looks a little weird. I was short bias from my short-term indicators, but long bias from the levels when we got down here, and it's looking a little bit, flip-floppy. But looking at the VIX, it looks like the VIX is trying to pick its direction for the day right now,
Yep.
and like it was a perfect gap, fill the gap, and drop off the VIX. So I'd be surprised to see it go up anymore. And if we drop another, dollar on the VIX, then we can expect the NQ to be up, high 600s,
Yeah. I agree.
maybe even further at this point. But
So if the VIX goes down, the S&P is going to go up?
yeah, it's inversely correlated.
Okay, okay.
Depending on how much everything moves as well, it's kind of up for interpretation. As far as what I can tell, as long as you inversely correlate the VIX with the NQ or the ES, then you can typically, get your sentiment or your bias. And then if you're flipping between NQ and ES, like I know some people end up doing, then NQ moves about 4 times as much as the ES. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
Now there was a where is it? Here. There's someone that trades the Russell and the and the NQ. So like they'll go long on the Russell and short on the NQ, and based off of that, because usually it will be the opposite direction. Something. Let me find where because I sent that to Matt.
Yeah, I seem to remember somebody talking about that before. I don't remember who
I think it
was.
was me. Pretty sure because I haven't spoken to you in a while, but still.
Yeah, I would say honestly to stick with one product, but hey, if 2 works for somebody and they're hedging it like that, then by all means, feel free.
There we go. Ah, fuck. Nope, that's not gonna work. Just kidding.
I typically find that sticking with just NQ works for me.
Let me edit that message real fast because that's not gonna work.
We could see the NQ up here at 43.18. I mean, not the NQ. Sorry, the ES.
It's a
I mean,
biggie,
that's
right?
the perfect setup, right? I mean, you're seeing shorts get squeezed.
25,
You
30
know,
points.
I was just looking at the wrong product.
Ooh, that's a really far. Yeah, that's 14,700 today. Entirely doable on the NQ.
I may take a long off this if we can get back in here and reject off of it.
Yeah, my short term's holding pretty well off those levels on NQ.
Just ain't got far enough off of it to.
As far as what I'm seeing is sideways action, volatility drop off,
Yep.
a little bit of a pullback. If we want to run, then we'll see, see 580 here in another 20 minutes.
I took a long right there.
Ooh, the VIX is dying. Wow.
Order submitted. Order filled.
The PCND, which is all the puts and calls for the NASDAQ 100 companies, is telling me highly bullish today.
Yep. Yep. For sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Damn, I cannot believe I missed this on the ES. At almost 20 points. And that was yesterday's open up there at 43.20.
I think it's safe to say you draw a crowd, Magnum.
Do I? I don't know how many folks is in here, man. I ain't even looking.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm long right now. The NQ right here, top of this box.
Yeah.
I got long off this rejection candle. We'll see if it holds.
So 63 is your average?
64.
64, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like it.
Ain't liking that.
Did I end up telling you before, Magnum, about the strat that I used past the combine originally with? The high
Uh-uh.
volatility Bollinger Band strat?
Uh-uh.
Oh, man. All it was Bollinger, a regular Bollinger Band setup with weighted moving average. And it was when we were having all that high volatility stuff going on back in like February. And absolutely killed it. It was like 2K every single day for like, I don't know, a month and a half straight.
Holy smokes. Just a simple,
And
just Bollinger Band.
yeah, it was the same type of idea that you have here with the volume for the most
Yep.
part. It was just
Yep.
based on the weighted moving average and the Bollinger Band. So was it wait for a rejection candle, take the break out of the rejection candle, and play it for as long as it looks like there's a level. Play it to the next level that you can make.
Just easy peasy.
Yeah, did that for a while. Once the volatility died, though, it stopped setting up correctly. But I reformulated that and coded it into an indicator um, with more of a zone trading methodology
Yeah.
after looking at kind of some of the stuff you were doing. So far, this thing's been pretty baller on a 1 minute time frame. I'm excited to try it in an actual combine scenario and see how it does.
Yeah, those combines, man. If you can encapsulate the risk structure that they use, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just kind of letting things run a little bit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
hard to really sit in there and scalp and control. Damn, I may just get stopped out right here. I'm gonna give this thing to.
the NQ's really testing at the moment.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
It's really getting out of hand. This is about as deep as the pullback as I would want to see for an entry.
Yeah, see, the ES is still squeezing here. I'm gonna have to hold loose right here for a minute. Shoosh. Man.
Yeah, that was a deep pull, dude.
Yeah, that one right there.
You didn't get stopped on that, did you?
No, but damn, I've come close here.
Yeah,
I mean, close.
my indicator's starting to really show it's great right here. Setting up for a long. I do think. Just whether or not this pullback comes back any further.
It don't need to. I mean, it needs to stay within this box. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
In order for this thing to really stay alive, I just don't. Oh,
Well,
here's the
they
problem.
see.
ES is still squeezing from where it retested. Yeah.
Oh, the VIX is dying off, so that's good. I think you'll survive. I just got an entry signal right there for a long across the 74 level there. There be. And we're off to the races.
Anybody watching this, they had a hell of a lot better entry than I had.
Yeah, you had a cloud play on the 30 momentum range chart, hammer and everything.
Don't understand this thing here. I mean, like we've made we still ain't made a higher high, and this ES is just ripping. Higher high, higher high. NQ is gave up.
Hey, Magnum, with the Bollinger Bands, did you ever mess with the settings as far as the deviations off of them?
I did. They were what's this thing here? Let me look. So yeah, the Bollinger Bands are the links 15, and the standard deviations is 2.21.
Okay, I changed that up on my end. I went all the way to 2.5. I'm kind of just testing out different deviations on them.
Mhm.
I went all the way to 3, man, and it was it was something else.
Yeah,
I mean, when it hit and you could go, I mean, it's guaranteed, but trying to find it. What I'm noticing too is this 30 momentum range chart is lining awful close to the 1 minute time frame as well.
Yep.
So what I've been able to do is I've eliminated the 1 minute fib, and I've done the fib off the 30 momentum range now.
Sweet. Is it working out for you though?
Yes and no. It depends on the candles forming, because obviously it's, you expect to pull back into the cloud, but sometimes it just doesn't always happen. So it's just kind of a hit and miss. I've been stopped out just because I'm entering on the hammer candle through it. So, but it's not by much. Again, the hammer candle is just running down, 3 to 5 points. So you're risking, $100 on every trade, which is not bad.
No, bad at all. Not bad at all.
Get through a 50K combine like that.
Well, that's what I'm in right now.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find the way, trying to get, the correct things. The biggest issue that I have is I'm just not letting the runners run. I think I'm moving the break even too soon, and it's just coming back and, hitting me out.
Yeah, it's a hard issue to deal with on the 50K because you really don't have the size necessary to deal with it. But if you notice, it'll probably go $200 and then come back and stop you out break even.
Yeah, it's running about 150, 160, and then I'm waiting basically to 5 points. As soon as it crosses 5 points, I'm moving that stop to break even a little bit past it, and it's coming right back and hitting it, and then it's continuing, like like this previous one on the 30 momentum. I mean, I entered at
5 points just isn't enough on the NQ. It's just literally not enough. I went through similar challenges to that, and you're better off either making a decision of taking the profit when you see it, or leaving your stop alone, and waiting for the target to hit, which means passing up on the 10 points or whatever you may get.
Yeah, I took the cloud on a long off 560 and stopgap. I moved my stop up when it crossed 570, and it came back down and tagged me out at 562.
Yeah,
and then you can see it went all the way up to pretty much 590. I mean, this 30 momentum, I'm looking for not the whole move of basically 30 points, but I'm looking for 20 points off of it. And it's a hit and miss.
Yeah, that's probably going to come back and bite you over time, even worse on the NQ anyway. Just due to the fact that the levels sometimes get super bunched up as volatility decreases. Basically, a lot of levels get made, within 10 points of each other, basically, or 7 points or 8 points or whatever it may be. And when those levels are bunched up like that, you get a clear signal. And then they just get smashed into that, 8.5 points later, and you're not taking any profits on it.
Yeah, I thought about trying to do 2 contracts and do a runner. So basically, first contract take off at 6 points, and then that second contract moves up to break even. Worst case scenario, I'm walking away $120.
Magnum, you holding tight?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm about to cut it. This thing, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with the NQ right now. I'm still holding here, but damn almighty.
Yeah, I'm liking it less and less, Magnum.
Yeah, me too.
It was such a short leg up.
The problem is all these others are running. So, I mean, I think we could about inversely play this damn thing if it's going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I was setting levels is what I was doing, or setting orders.
Anything above 600's bullish running territory. So,
I mean, it may just be out here shaking weak hands. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm gonna reduce some size right here.
as far as 2 contracts goes,
I was
SR, you gotta. It's not a bad plan to do 2 contracts. Risking $200 is not a huge deal, even on the 50K. I think it's a good plan. It's definitely worth a try.
Yeah, I'm just kind of flirting around with it again. For me, 6 months into this, I mean, I'm doing Top Step just to do a learning process, and I've basically given myself a year to just kind of learn everything, get a good solid plan together, and go at it. Again, I mean, Top Step's great for risk management. I don't agree with the rules completely, but I mean, you use it for what you use it for.
Yeah. I mean, as much as some of the rules are better than others, at the end of the day, it still teaches you risk tolerance and risk management, which is invaluable for us as traders. So,
I can take a loss here and be good. I was too deep on this. I figured it would have ran by now. So I'm willing to take a loss from here. But, the crazy thing is how this stinking ES and YM is absolutely soaring.
wonder what's down then in the
Order submitted. Order
markets at
filled.
the moment. Probably tech stocks.
Mm-hmm. Making sure Bezos didn't
Blow up.
scatter himself all over the damn hemisphere, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like tech stocks are mostly down today, and everything else is green as hell.
See how this thing right here, this opening volume right here?
Yep.
Draw your box out right there, right? These sellers would have got trapped. Volume was decreasing. Come up through the box, come back to the box, retested, and took right off. Beautiful.
Now, do you only do that for New York Open?
I do that all day long. Like if we're uptrending, right? I'm looking for, okay, where did sellers step in right here? Say a seller step in right here. Well, right here's probably going to be a pivot. This bar right here. So there's probably going to be a bit of a pivot right there within this.
Well, that's fresh demand as well.
Yep. I mean, it'd be ideal, right? You could have
Order
It doesn't
canceled.
happen all the time, but it happens more times than not. That volume dying off, price make it above it, and then retest, and then took back off, and you could have took a long from here up to a level that
Hmm.
kind of gives opportunities all day long. But you want to trade it in the direction of the trend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, makes sense. That's what makes supply and demand trading so hard.
Yeah.
Some of those days that go 1%, 2% higher, you don't get a chance.
Yep. I really don't know what's about to happen here. It's either ES and YM are going to back off and money's going to flow out of it and flow into NQ, or they're both going to die together. I don't know. NQ should be running. But
NQ is about half and half right now in terms of the indices, or the companies rather. It's like Adobe, PayPal, Nvidia, Intel, Tesla. They're all down. Netflix. But what's holding it up is Apple, Microsoft, and Google.
Even after the Microsoft hacked?
Yep, they're still up. They're floating near break, near 0.15% on the day, but they're still green.
Order flow looks heavy on ES.
so in a situation like this where you've seen that big massive run up and kind of squeeze the hell out of all these sellers at the open, find you a good spot on like where it kind of has broke down. So you could probably use this volume bar and a big volume candle and mark you a box up right here. And then if volume continues to fall off, but yet price can get above here, you could probably take a long off this up to this 4306.
NQ, what are you doing?
Let's see. Basically saying that the sellers wouldn't have enough balls to make it past that point.
That's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and anybody that stepped in right here that was late and didn't sell the top, they sold right here. Well, they're about to get squeezed. You know what I mean? And then you got new buyers, and then you also got these shorts that's got to cover, which would initiate a little bit of a squeeze up. Back to the whole theory of, say this is a bottom, and they sold here. Well, they sold the bottom,
Yeah.
and that's all we're doing is trying to take advantage of it with this little deal.
NQ, I believe that you will rise. I believe that you will rise.
Order canceled.
Sure the hell hope
Stop
so.
filled.
I was sitting here looking at this thing, trying to figure out where it would possibly bounce. She ain't wanting to.
We got a POC down around 500 something or 490 on the NQ.
Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you, buddy. What'd you say it was? 480? What?
Yeah, I think it's like 495, 96. I don't know. I've got a POC down there. I thought it was going to test it, but it just got down to 517. I figured to go down and test that POC and then shoot up. So I don't,
Right here at
just out there.
492.
See, there's a pivot point at 464.
Why can't this thing just rip the face off of everybody like it always does? Except to the upside. Needs to.
True.
Needs to do it.
Magnum, you just got to support it. That's all.
Man, I'm trying. I had to take some size off. I was deep on that thing, man. Deep. I mean, it's hard not to like it right here still, you know? I mean, nothing's changed, you know, other than the damn thing ain't moving. But it's still holding up here. I mean, for whatever reason, it's holding like crazy.
It's in a range now, right?
Mhm.
Low volatility.
Just got involved with the wrong product this morning. It didn't move. ES moved like crazy.
Yeah,
Face,
ES would have been.
I wonder if Faceless is still long. If so, his ass is up like a gazillion points. He was long the YM from like, I don't even know, yesterday's low right here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think no, he got long at 634.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me. He basically bottom ticked it.
Literally. And you know, the crazy part is I got long with him too, and I sold up here on because nothing was really moving up, but he held, and I bailed on this trade, and I went and bought the NQ. But I mean, we bought basically together. So yeah, he basically bought him ticket somewhere right in here.
How the hell does he keep doing that?
Dude, he's an animal.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen him bottom tick or top tick something.
He is an absolute animal.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah, he literally like stop losses. What is that? He don't even.
Everyone
need 'em.
spirit bomb the NQ. Make it blow up. Give your power to it.
I mean, it's hard to get disappointed in this thing unless it gets down here, you know, below this and tries to make, you know, some of this, uh, you know, resistance. Kind of like what the hell it's doing. Let's go bounce. Right here is the spot. It needs to freaking bounce. Whoosh.
Wonder if we'll get a leg down to the bottom.
I'm gonna have to cut this thing if it keeps doing this stupid shit. I mean, this is the pivot, right? So these three levels that right here on the daily deal, these typically are a pivot. So you'll see price kind of come down and do what it's going to do here and then take either off or, you know, come through and then show this as resistance and then break below. Typically is what you see happen. That failure to do so right here this morning makes me think that we're headed up. So that's why I was willing to take the long off the top of it, you know, but I damn sure wasn't anticipating all this, you know.
Near the 945, it looks like you have a big volume bar off of a bottom there. Wouldn't you draw one of your boxes near there?
Where you at?
945 your time,
Oh,
roughly. And we come down and make like a temporary, little bit of a temporary bounce bottom there. And it looks like we had like some increased volume. Oh no, it's the next one over. Never mind.
46.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
was just thinking like that's a interesting spot to bounce on the right there.
Yeah. Yep. Ideally, right? I mean, I would like to see So here could potentially be a situation. We have a bigger volume bar right here, volume's decreasing. So you could see a touch of the top of this 558, come back over, touch the top of this 558 and take off. But it's still kind of small volume in relative terms. You want to see something really kind of stick out,
Yeah.
Kind of like this one bar did here. You got this big volume bar, which, price come down and touched the very top of, and then has just kind of shot up from it. That might have been the bar. That might have been the spot to buy. Even though I bought up here like a knucklehead, up here.
Yeah.
But I wasn't anticipating. I was expecting to run up on top of top of this opening and then take off.
We had a key turning
here's-
point, I just realized.
Here's
Wow.
looking like it might do something. Back what we was talking about, right? That volume bar, volume's decreasing. We shouldn't have actually pushed higher. But when we do, if this thing can reject off the top of this box, potential long up to 43.06. And that looks like a rejection bar.
I just realized that the shorts defense at 85, at 585, should have been expected based off the first 1 minute bar there.
Look at that shit.
Go, baby, go.
Should be popping them right in the mouth.
Where are you thinking? Where are you thinking?
I'm thinking 43.06.
NQ's running.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, NQ's running hard.
Dang, man, look at there. We might get a good trade after all. Hey, and one other thing I like about this is this thing is going to be an all-day trade. See how tight these bars are right here together?
Yep.
This should be a trending day. So stay long, this son of a gun, and just sell it at all these levels. Put you an order here, 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 and here. And let it eat.
604, 624, and 6.
Actually, I've got a level at, I'm going to try to sell at 616, 654, 665, 680, and 726, and 789. Well, I'm going to try to sell that if I can.
I wasn't even thinking that far ahead. But yeah. It's all sound like great levels to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea, right? I'm going to sell one right here. I'm going to sell one here, one here, one here, and one here.
Yeah.
So this was, what is this? Today, what is today? Tuesday? Yeah, so this was Fridays or Sundays. No, it wasn't. What day was this? Let me look. It's this level right here. That was Friday. Friday's low. Yeah, so I'm selling at Friday's low, yesterday's high. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
Good place to sell.
Oh, yeah.
We're off to the races.
Anybody else long all this madness?
I was long a little bit, but I had to take profits.
Damn it, man. Why?
Bro, I had too much of a loss last week.
Well, what better way to make it up with a damn 200
I bought back in. I bought back in one.
Just messing with you, man.
Bro, I lost too much last week.
Hey, look at that ES trade, guys. That was freaking awesome. Exactly what we was talking about, right? Trap sellers, boom, boom, rejected off the top of the box, and then just off to the races she goes.
Yeah, that's already 5 points. 6 points on that.
That's beautiful, ain't it?
Yeah.
With a target of 4306 from 4288.
Wow,
That's-
your rejection candle. So
Ain't that-
4291, roughly.
Ain't that beautiful? Man, that didn't get no prettier than that either.
Take the close of the rejection candle, right? Not the initial touch.
Yeah, I take the close. Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah.
be guessing if that's rejection or not.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I think is. First target should have hit, right? Almost.
So close. I got a target of 16. Where did I get that target of 16 at?
You had that little. You went over to your tools and they had one of the indicators.
Yeah. Measured move. That's what it was. Damn, I probably should have redone that. Because we probably done hit target. Let me slide that down. We did.
Order fill.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fill some of them right there.
Said some of them. How many is some of them?
Yeah, I got a few.
That's just 10. You know, he's got another 15 just sitting on there.
Yeah, so I had a, yeah, that's right. I was thinking this was going to be a measured move deal. So I would have took this tool, come over here. Well, hell no, I kind of shortchanged myself a little. Whatever, 622. Looks like it could have been a spot. I'm all right, though. Take it a little early. It don't matter.
That's where my level is too. Amazing how those measured moves work.
They do, don't they? They work great.
They're amazing.
Well, I mean, that right there takes a ton of risk off the table for me. You know, just paying yourself up through here, you know, is the name of the game.
I've got $800 more till I'm done with step 2. And I'm trying to just be patient, but it's hard.
Beast.
Yeah.
Oh, there it
Hey,
is.
man,
Double click it. I kept just doing
Between-
one click.
between Rocky and Faceless, if there's a bottom or a top to be had, they're going to get it. It's insane. Both of them are freaking awesome at that shit.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive when they can do that shit consistently too.
Yeah. Rocky every day. You see a screenshot of like something he bottom ticked for like 100 points. I'm like, dude, it won't be long. Rocky gonna be slinging some big dollars around these parts.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Shit's fun to watch.
Yeah. I don't know his living arrangements. I don't know how he's got his stuff structured, but if he ain't taking a ton out of his account and he's just stacking on top of stuff, he should be able to rebalance, you know, nearly every week and then just keep ramping that thing up.
Is
You
that
know?
what he's doing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying if he did, you know, he's gonna go from making, you know, whatever he's making to double to double to double damn near every week he keeps pulling out like he's doing there.
Yeah, I mean, if he could convert into hedging, then sure.
Yeah.
That would be some big monies. I feel like that'd be just too much, though, that rate. It'd be really annoying to try and manage.
Yeah. So I guess it looks like, I mean, since we've obviously made a higher high, what we're going to try to do now is look for another spot to buy. You know, I mean, you buy higher, sell higher. So,
Is he talking, this guy?
huh? What was that?
Nothing, Sensei. You continue your masterpiece.
I'm just gonna say we potentially
That- on this Discord, really?
we could.
You got an open mic.
Yeah, I was getting confused as shit there. Um, so I guess what I was trying to say is if we
So
get a big
it
volume
doesn't
spike,
recognize us right now, though,
Holy
right? Without
shit.
the.
Thank you.
Hey,
okay, we'll regroup this thing. So if we can get a big volume spike up, one of these sell volumes or one of these sell bars that's kind of full, and we get a pretty good spike up, we could use it, box it out just like what we did over there on the ES a minute ago, and buy off the top of it for another run up. But I
It
don't
still
see
hasn't hit that target of like 22, right?
no, not yet. It'd have been a measured move, right? If we took this to here to here,
Yep.
here to here.
also, if you look left on your chart at that 24 level, you'll see another nice little interesting spot as far as the level is concerned. Just underneath a high there. You're looking at it already. It's on your
Yep.
right. But
Yep.
the underside of those peaks typically give out, I think Buy High talked about it actually as pockets originally.
Yep.
I've also seen it be talked to as where they basically rotate the books to maintain a balance in the portfolios and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
For their delta hedging, or their gamma hedging.
I mean, as it stands right now, we potentially are trapping buyers, right? Closest volume bar we have that's a spike is right here. So potentially, if we got down below it and pull back into it, we might get a sell. We might get a sell off of this going down. I don't know. I mean, ideally, you don't want to counter trend this stuff, but you can monitor it and just say, okay, well, is my long about to really give up, or should I go ahead and just take profit or what? Not really tradable, but more so insightful.
Magnum, is this new strat you were trying to work out, or is this just one you got in the bag?
No, man, this is part of it. It's part of it. I just kind of going over it. I'm not really at the point where I'm just really fully able to release it, to where, obviously it needs to be recorded and everybody else pick up on it. But, maybe take the day here and just kind of walk through it. That way it's a lot more familiar when everybody's actually, when it's presentable. That's kind of what I was thinking.
So you're basically running on volume per candle.
Yeah, I'm looking for people to be trapped, right? I'm looking for your normal traders to buy at the top and sell at the bottom. You know what I mean? And get trapped and take advantage of it and be on the right side of the market and let it run against them. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
So in other words, if you have buyers, right, that stepped in right here on this, let me lock this box down. So you had buyers step in right here on this candle, right? Which we can see that right here. In relative terms, that's a pretty good amount of people buying. Well, what you would want to see in a situation like this is price to fade it on lower volume, right? And then it break below this bar and come back and retest it and reject off of it, right? Because you've got all these people that bought in up way too high, and then now they're going to run the price against them. You know what I mean?
Which is actually what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much. But then ideally you want to see another big volume bar because I mean we're in an uptrend, right? We've got we've got a high, we got a higher high. Let's hope this is a higher low. Then we've defined an uptrend, right? Well, we would want to see a big volume bar on the sell side, and then trap sellers right here. All these knuckleheads that sold their position are probably going to try to short right here, only to get the market reversed on again, headed back up the other way. You know what I mean?
Which it's doing.
Well, yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Live example.
So you're basically waiting for this bar right here to close below the box.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to. You ideally, right? So counter trend trading is like super scalping. You got to be so on it, and it's so hard to super scalp on like the NQ anyhow because you got slippage and all these other things that take, and you can't use real good size to scalp much. So ideally, you don't want to counter trend trade. You want to trade with the trend. So I gave this short example as a counter trend trade, which kind of sucks. But hey, you could have scalped this whole bar, right? And potentially piece of this bar you could have scalped out because you've seen this volume coming in on the buy side, right? So you would have knew, hey, that's a good time to. You could have scalped from the top of the box or the bottom of the box down to somewhere in this candle. But the idea spot for this, since we did make that high, higher high, lower high, now another lower high, we're going to find where sellers are going to get trapped. And if we can, then ideally that's where we want to take advantage of it and kind of flip the script on this whole box theory, except do it to the long side rather than the short. Like right here on the ES, here's a pretty good example. It might play out.
She's right. I finished out the AT. That was it for me.
So this box is basically been played out. So we've had volume come in right there. So we take the body of that candle. So the body of this candle where you see higher volume in relative terms. See how we've sold off, and the biggest sell-off, the biggest volume comes in at the lowest bar, which tells you most knuckleheads shorted down here. You know what I mean? Well, you want price, because we're in an uptrend, obviously. You want price to come through that box on lower volume that's dying off, go through the box, come back and retest that box and reject off of it. And then you can take a long up to a level, or you can just trail your stop, either or.
You're not taking it off the rejection candle. You're taking it off the next candle, correct?
Yeah. So, like for instance, say this was I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. If we can get a rejection candle, just take it. Say this was the rejection candle. Just take and set you an order right there, or just sit here and if right there was a rejection. I think. Let's see how it plays out real quick.
Yeah, close the candle, hit the buy button.
That's it. Boom. Yeah, that's it. I mean,
stop will go at the end of the candle, correct?
Yeah. And I mean, you want to move your stop up pretty quickly. I mean, this thing. Ideally, this thing works better to the upside than it does to the downside because we all know what short squeezes look like. They're incredible. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way you want to ideally play it to the upside. Downside works great too. It's just you want to be able to play it to the upside where you've got buyers and you got new buyers plus people that are upside down also having to buy. So
So that's setting up for a buy.
correct.
If we get above it, right? Yeah.
Yep. I mean, we're working off of like little volume. I mean, you want to see a big volume spike, This is probably going to flag out most likely. But ideally you see a bigger volume spike and then, price bust above it, come back to it and rip away.
Would you be trading on your secondary account since I think you're still in some, right, for long? Or did you flat all yours?
I flatted this morning. I took a long right here. 64.
I thought you said you took some out at like 609.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, but I was long from 470 something.
Yeah.
And
what's that profit look like?
Do what?
What's that profit look like?
I don't know. I didn't even look at that.
Now we broke above.
We're doing pretty good. We up 23.9 on the day.
Jesus.
$239. Oh my God.
Magnum, I think you're not drawing these boxes on your cell phone, are you?
Do what?
You're not drawing these boxes on your cell phone, are you?
No, man. I got rained out today at work. The dirt business got put on hold today. It rained like 2 damn inches over here last night.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think since I'm doing everything from the phone. I can't draw. I'm not going to be able to draw these boxes. I'm just going to have to draw horizontal lines.
Yeah, just stick your horizontal line above and below, Do you use TradingView or do you use Tradeovate?
Tradeovate.
I got you. On TradingView, you can still draw these boxes on there, man. I tell
with
you,
one finger.
It's 40. This TradingView app is incredible. The mobile app is incredible. The only thing I don't like about it is you can't trade from it. You can't trade from your mobile app. You can through the URL, but you got this big old thing that shows up over here, and it's like unreal. Makes it tough.
That finger. No, I didn't mean to do that. In contract, sell. What?
Hey, man, crude oil got killed yesterday, and it's only up next to nothing. Man, that was a nasty deal yesterday.
Yeah, I got killed yesterday at the pumps, bro.
Hey, how would you have liked to have down? Let me get rid of these lines here. This is the sickest shit I've ever seen in my life. Everybody Friday was like, oh, yes, this is the V bottom. This is beautiful. I caught the bottom. and then all of a sudden you're like, what the?
Hell yeah.
Oh, jeez, man. Like, how do you buy this V bottom? I'd have some serious trust issues.
It's a lot of hope. Man, I stopped trading crude oil when something like that happened before. I was like, nope, I want nothing to do with crude.
Here's a pretty cool deal on crude. Like you said, it's huge volume bar. Well, some of these knuckleheads sold down here at this bottom. You could probably take your box and stick it up right there. Let price come back into the top of this box, and it liable to rip. You know what I mean? Because you'd have trapped sellers, which
Yep.
they're already kind of damn trapped. But
NQ, perfect rejection off the box,
was it?
right into a long. Yep.
Hey, you gonna get paid right here, fellas.
See if
Paid it.
24 holds or not, and then above that is 42, and then it's off to the races for another 30 points.
There's 22, right? That would have been the measured move right now.
Yep. That's the book rebalancing level, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And
I understand.
it's gone.
We're always used to having.
Gotta squeeze them shorts.
So now when people are trying to get back in the box, since should be another box, right?
Yeah, so you see this big volume bar, right? You had a ton of people buying right here. So if you're a super scalper, which I damn sure ain't, you can set your box right there, right here.
That's for the shorts, though, right?
Yeah, I mean that if you're super scalping, it's obviously counter trend trading. You'd want to see volume dying off, price come down below, touch. You could take your little short scalp, into what you felt was resistance, which, I don't know where you find resistance right here. This shit looks, there's nothing clear.
Bollinger Bands are saying buy like crazy right now.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, you don't want to counter trend this stuff. You just want to find them trap sellers, like what this rejection candle would allowed you to do, and just buy in the direction of the trend.
And you go off you're going off the 1 minute. You don't go off ticks, right?
I just go off, man. You can go. I ain't never messed with ticks, but you can go off of anything you want to go off of, really. You can find this stuff on a 5 minute, 3 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, daily, whatever.
How about a range chart?
I ain't never tried it on a range chart. It's just been time based. Because the thing about the range chart is, and the thing probably about a tick chart is, you have volume, right? That's the main component of this strategy is the volume. So you need to see how much volume's coming in X amount of time. Whereas range, you might have this one bar might be 10 bars spread out.
Yeah.
So your volume is going to be different.
Same thing for ticks too. Ticks volume is going to be different. So you're dealing with contracts traded.
Yeah, and to your point, man, I mean, it's just unshortable and stuff like it. Yeah, I mean, it's not unshortable, but why in the hell would you want to short in? Just stay on the right side of the tracks and you be good.
Anybody know how to change the volume bars on color for Trade of 8?
Oh, I downloaded the Tiki volume.
Okay, yeah, let me do that right quick.
And it's pretty sporty. You can change the colors on it. There's a gap there at 1872 on the VIX, ain't there? No, it's down below it. And I got to readjust some of the stuff.
What is that line? It just doesn't want to move.
1846.
Wait, where'd you find the Tiki volume?
Just go to community indicators.
God, it's such a perfect gap and die.
For sure.
Wait, where do you find community indicators?
If you go to your indicator list, go all the way down to the bottom. It'll say Explore Community Indicators.
Ah, okay.
Type in Tiki.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is probably one of the cleanest and purest forms of trading I've seen you put together, Magnum.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, check this out right here on the ES, man. That thing is so pretty.
I know. It's gonna take some getting used to, but I like this one.
Yeah, see
I
that?
like this one more than the cloud.
Yeah. Yeah, this one here, man, it's clean. It's just pure, right? Well, it sucks because it's malicious as hell because you're really like taking advantage of. Well, I mean, you're just doing what the market already does, is all. You know, you're just on the right side of it.
Yeah, why are you thinking about it like that in the first place, though? Don't worry about that. It's all superfluous.
Yeah. We're about to get up here to 4306 on that ES.
My I can use this in conjunction with my my new indicator too.
Yeah.
So I really like it.
Man, look at that stinking squeeze from this morning from trap sellers on that ES. Just wow. That's what I was hoping for on the NQ. That rascal.
Yeah, NQ got blocked up by a few things this morning. It was at the mid-level point or the mid pivot point, as well as near the top of the opening range there. So
Yeah.
got smacked a little bit hard.
Now here's an interesting spot that I mean, I don't deem it to be tradable, but you know, we had volume come in right here on this doji looking deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this thing up so that I can see it. Not that it's tradable, but just for the fact that how does price react around it? You know, to make sure my long's still good because we got volume dying off on it.
Why would you pick that one and not the big ranging bar prior to that? That was slightly bigger.
I mean, I don't feel that this thing's going to fall apart right here. It's just wherever the biggest volume come in at is where I'd really want to pay the most amount of attention. For whatever reason, there was buyers and sellers that stepped in right here.
Right, but to the left of that, 4 candles.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Because this one was bigger, wasn't it? No, it's not. You're right, man.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm reading it right.
No, you are. I was wrong. Yep. There we go.
Yeah, because that changes up the scenario a little bit, right?
Yeah, it does. Totally. My eyeballs ain't serving me well, but you're absolutely right.
I threw it up on my TOS chart too, where everything's color coded and shit for me, so have it under the magnifying glass at the moment.
There you go. Yeah, and this is just an area just to monitor the health of the move right here. I mean, it's just
that's fine.
Let you know when shit goes off the rails and when it don't, you know?
Yeah. And it tells you immediately when the magnitude of the long or the shorts are gone and done.
Yep.
Because you'll see the area break.
But yes, I'm fine with a 3.
I'd be hard pressed to believe that this is not the way that any of us are. This is not the way any of us was ever taught to use volume. You know what I mean? They say use volume for confirmation. Well, if you used volume for confirmation, well, what does that what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? You reverse engineer it basically to where you can actually utilize it in your favor. You know what I mean? That's the idea.
Yeah, I actually threw it away because it's a lagging indicator most of the time if you trade it the way they teach you.
Yeah. This way it's between it and levels, it becomes a leading indicator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to mute my mic for a few minutes, guys. That was That was some work related stuff. I'll be back in a minute.
Have fun.
Good shit.
Put that away. At some point, I don't know what. I'm not sure how it's going to go the rest of the year.
Out of left field there.
The guy's still going. Well, if we should have drawn a new box on that last red candle. Purple candle on Magnums. Just due to the amount of volume that was traded on a down candle. So now if we decrease in volume for a few candles and push higher, and then come back into that zone at 49 roughly, and reject, then we should get more long pressure.
All right, so you're basically talking candle at 10:51, correct?
Yes.
All right.
When we're in the uptrend, we're looking for basically down candles, red candles, whatever color you have them as. And then we want to see volume kind of drop off as we push higher. So obviously we didn't on the next candle, but say this candle and the next minute candle or so have decreasing volume. We could safely say that like that candle was decreased volume. So now we can say that okay, if we move back into the 49 range and see a rejection candle, we can get another add-on to the to the long side.
Yeah, I got the top of that candle at 48. So basically, it comes back, test 48, and you buy off that rejection.
So yeah, you want to see when it comes back, we want to see a tail wick on it, basically. Which you may see here in a few minutes, but we want to see it tail wick and close higher than the box, basically, with a little bit of a tail wick at the very least,
So
as a
yeah,
rejection candle. So looking like a
okay.
doji or a pin bar or something like that.
Yeah, hammer bar pretty much.
Yeah, hammer. There you go. Then you would buy the open of the next candle or the close of that candle, basically.
And your stop's right there at the top of the box.
Yeah, you want to put your stop a little bit under, like near the middle of the box or whatever, right? You want to give yourself room underneath that rejection wick. At least 2 to 3 ticks underneath that.
So 51 is from July 8th. That was a trend line around July 8th.
51?
So 6:51 right now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If you go back to July 8th, like there was a trend line, midday or something like that. Hold up.
Yeah, so this right here could be the rejection that we're looking at. This could end up being the rejection candle. So if this closes weak, which it did, then we could technically buy this and put our stop underneath as of right now. This is up to interpretation though on this one because it didn't quite reach all the way back in that we would originally want to see, but judging based on the reaction of this candle and this 1 minute candle, it looks like that would have been the bounce point. So then you might put your stop at like 48 flat or something like that and give yourself, 8 points of room to work with on the NQ.
Oh my gosh, like on the 30-minute, this this 30 minutes is so long.
Oh, I'm sure. Looking at upside of like 688 to 698. Nice little defined area here. I'm not sure how Magnum would define this piece right here, but we did have another zone get created.
I think that was like the Friday close on July 8th. Like where we're at right now. Wait, actually hold up.
I believe it. Quite a bit of volume on the 754 candle. 1054 for East Coasters.
No, this was Thursday night. Right now it was Thursday night going into Friday. Thursday night 11 p.m. going into Friday.
Gotcha. It's pretty much a breakdown of what is this? 645. If we get below the 645 level, now we're looking at short-term downside. That could be significant.
Oh, what's gonna happen? Momentum shifting.
Yep, a little bit. Holy.
Is that 45?
I wouldn't expect anything for a little bit now. Expect probably half an hour to an hour of just bullshit at this point.
That's the best time to go walk my dog.
Pretty much.
Let's see how the ES.
I have to go get ready for work. Damn harvest seasons.
What are you harvesting?
It's grape harvesting season for Gallo Winery, and I take care of their a couple of their sites here in California.
Noise.
They're just super annoyed this year. They got a new place and like 45 minutes away, and they bought it like 3 months ago and decided to do nothing with it until 2 weeks out from harvest. So I have to scramble and get all the technology set up.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Too much stress for me. I just want to trade. Don't they know it's prime trading hours? Damn
Hey, I was able to get out of a few more up there, guys. I got out of 2 more blocks of 3 at where did I get them out of? Let me look. I got them out at 652.
What are you at now?
Um, I'm still long. I still have uh, I'm still long 9. So
Jesus, hits.
yeah, I've got orders. I'm gonna sell 660. I don't know why I had 665. Let me look.
Is it because of that line right there? 667.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Okay, yeah. So I sold here on that level. So I'm gonna sell at this level. I'm gonna sell some at this level, and then I'm gonna sell the rest up here. Yeah. I don't know. I may pull that down and sell it here at 731. Yeah, probably what I'll do.
So right now we're stagnant.
No, I mean, just go grind, man. I mean, from the way these lines set up. So if you see how, let me roll this up to a 5-minute chart so you can see these lines better. So you see how these lines are spaced apart real far? This
Yep.
blue, and pink. Those indicate a reversal type of day. You know what I mean? Like a reverse. So you'll have a price that'll run and then reverse, or you have price that runs up and reverses. Well, when you get these levels that are really, really tight like this, it often indicates a trending day. So the market will just rip one way. You know what I mean? And that's typically what it is. So like on some of these really tight days, where these bands are pretty tight, you see how the market just trended all day long? Right here. Just trended.
Yep.
Yeah, basically what it is. And then right here, it just trend all day long. And the more wide they are, the more you look to reverse the moves. You look to sell, kind of reverse the moves. This
Hey,
one,
I'm weird.
go ahead. Sorry.
wondering where you added, because I believe at 616 you had 6 that you were some go. I'm just curious where you added after that.
Oh, I added back at the top at the 64 left, back where I was on the rejection.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
Yeah, because we kept chopping around right here, and then I added back, and then I took some heat on it, and I said, "Oh my gosh!" But I held strong, thinking that this candle right here was the one that was going to be the tricky Ricky one, right? This big bar right here. I was thinking that would be okay, where we're going to absolutely trap sellers, and then when price come down to it and bounced off of it, I added up through here on this bar. But today we was probably going to experience just a grinding day from here, just kind of slow go, just keep your position and just let it eat. You know what I mean?
Is anybody having trouble seeing Magnum screen?
Nope.
Why? I for whatever reason I can't see it.
Close your Discord and then reopen it.
I've done that twice.
Didn't work.
No.
There's too many people in the call. That's why I haven't been able to see the whole time.
Oh no!
Hey, I'm out some more.
Promise you that shouldn't be a problem.
What are you at? Like 100K now?
I'm doing pretty good so far, fellas. I'm up 43.5.
I'm going to say the same thing I say every time you do this. Can you buy me lunch today?
Your thing, man. Go ahead.
Shit, I'm gonna be a little bit more expensive. Can I go for dinner?
Oh Lord.
Can I get a piece of gum Magnum?
Yeah.
Yo, I don't drink, so you're good. You save on alcohol, right? I'm a cheap date. You take me to like all you can eat steak.
Yeah,
Boom.
right.
Brazilian steakhouse. Let
you
go.
Oh man.
My main food groups: beef, chicken, pizza.
Now this is the interesting little piece right here. We put in some sell volume up here, which is relatively big in terms, of what we just seen on this down move. So we could see a little bit of a pullback right here, but nothing too dramatic, I don't think. But some bigger players bailed out right here into this level.
Yeah. So you're talking about the big bar basically at 10:58.
No,
on the volume.
No, 11:08 Eastern.
That'd be 10:08.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. We're on the same time zone, but I'm just reading the time. There you go. Okay, yeah. So, 11:08. So draw the line. It's just now in the box.
Yeah, well, so what you're seeing right now is they was some big players that took profit right here into this level is what you're seeing. So you'd rarely see sellers get trapped at the top because this just lets you know where big money, smart money's taking profit at. When you see big volume come in at the top, you know what I mean? Normally, this is dumb money, right? That big volume shows up at the bottom. That lets you know that sellers are typically going to get trapped. It's just when you see big sell volume come into top, some bigger players took profit up here.
And they're not trapped because they took profit.
That is absolutely right.
But the people down previously,
yeah,
at
so
like 11:05 were trapped, right?
Yeah. So if we see a big volume bar come in right here in just a minute on like a sell volume, well, these guys they're about to get trapped, or they stand a good chance to get trapped, and that's what we're going to take advantage of.
That's a good distinction to have when you do your master class there, Magnum.
Yes. Yep.
Especially the tidbit about,
Suckers
it coming in at the top and not being trapped.
Let you know.
Excellent info.
I probably ain't the best at explaining stuff like this, to be honest with you.
What are you talking about? You're easy and simple.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
We're following, bruh.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna talk some more up here at probably 680-ish in this little deal right here, whatever this. I don't know what this was. I'm gonna look and see. That's yesterday's high. 680.
688's 110 from Globex low.
680 is
688.
688. Okay, I should be good then. 682. I'm gonna front run that one a little bit just because I don't want to get slapped with that.
Not to mention 80's an important level usually.
Yeah.
80's and 20's.
But these big grinding days like this, man, this is where you make your money. You know what I mean? You set this stuff in down here like what we did this morning, and you just sit in here and you just sit pretty all day long, and you just make your money. Sell yourself some as you go. This is where you really make some dollars.
And you could do this pretty well all day because you wouldn't be stressed out after you're up 40G.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was good. I was good at that first sale. I was happy as could be at that, and then everything else just kind of, comes as it goes.
Hell yeah. I just got a buy signal on my freaking Bollinger Bands for long.
And that ES, it blowed through that, didn't it? No, it kind of pulled back into it. Look at there. That's pretty cool.
I'd expect ES follows this better, right?
Huh?
ES probably follows this better than NQ does.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. I think you could stand to make more money on the ES than you could on the NQ
Yeah.
because it moves better.
See, like right here, we had some sell volume come in on this ridiculous bar. So you could have run you a box right here. You know what I mean? And then you've got trap sellers right here. You took a long off the top of the box. And this is the zone where you could take profit on this thing if you were long the ES, up in here. Anywhere from, 43.17 to 43.20.
Yeah. Cleared the whole number too, so you could be looking at 43.20 if you were just doing it based on institutional numbers.
Yep.
Damn, Magnum. Just balling out of control. Think you're right.
Six-figure day?
This could definitely be the combine killer for sure.
I told you. This is some sporty stuff, man. Risk is defined, and you have absolutely set yourself up for some great rewards. You know what I mean?
Yep. You do this on the 50,000, a high degree of success.
Yeah, you put 2 contracts on, man, in these little small. I say they're small. What's the target on a 50K?
you make 50K in a day. These damn small combines and they're
Now,
3K targets.
what is that target on the $50,000 combine?
3K.
You would have made that today on this one trade. You know what I'm saying? And not even absolutely put yourself in a bad risk spot. You know what I mean? You kept risk small. You kept it defined. And literally, you would have passed the combine in one day.
Yep. 2 contracts. Not one, but
easy peasy. Yeah.
I think it's like 100 100 points total or something to get there.
I'm buying killer.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm gonna give it a try when I get enough capital to do so.
That's the thing, man. I was, like I said, I was talking to Buddy earlier, and it's, if I was taken out of this account, it'd be harder to do. But just rebalancing every single week, from what I made last week, just rebalancing, um, you can make some stupid money pretty quick. You know what I mean? Just ramping up and rebalancing every week. It's hard to get your head around sometimes, but if you're trying to struggle from micros to minis, don't touch it and just ramp that thing up and rebalance week over week. I mean, in no time flat, you're gonna be trading minis and you're gonna be trading multiple minis at that point,
I think that's probably one of the most dangerous things to do for most of the traders in here.
What's that?
Going from micros to minis after trying to do a balancing on micros, especially. Most people are on micros and swinging like crazy.
Well, yeah.
And the problem is that like if you want to do like a hedging strategy and whatnot, you need to be consistently profitable already and understand the ins and outs of kind of what you're getting into. Because I mean, rebalancing for hedging like that is just it takes a lot of concentration and know-how every single day. Like you can't have stressed out days, you can't have bad days. Like you got to have a game plan ready to go at all times.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people in here would be able to deal with that, and myself included.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for me to lose sight of some stuff. I just been doing it so damn long, man. It's just none of this shit. Yeah, I have bad days. Don't get me wrong, but you just for me, it just seemed like you spend enough time in the saddle, all that kind of disappears.
Right. I mean, we're talking like 5-10 years of trading, and then that stuff starts to disappear. But
Yeah, I've been doing this for a minute, but you're right.
you got to think a lot of the people in here are been trading futures only for like 6 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
3 months and counting.
There you go.
I guess
So
now
you
we want
gotta-
for support above the 667.
Yeah, I was about to say you got to set up right here on the 1 minute. You got that box at 11:14. Came down. When it tested, it doesn't matter if it tested with a wick or with the body itself, correct?
Yeah, well, say right here, like on this candle at 11:08 and this candle at 11:14, you had some big buyers. I mean, you had some big buyers that were down here that are selling into this level. So you ideally want to see these big volume spikes come in at the bottom. You know what I mean? Like you had this pullback right here. You want to see this big volume down here on this bottom bar because that lets you know that dumb money stepped in and tried to sell this bottom. And then all of a sudden, these big guys bought this thing back up and run it against them. And so now these guys are struggling to cover. You know what I mean? But when you see these big volume bars come in at some of these areas, like this big indecision bar and then this inverted hammer bar, it lets you know big players are taking profit from way down here. So realistically, you can't really do nothing on them too. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to wait for, something like wherever we had another one at, an indecision type deal. Like right here, you had some people, start to sell into this bar per se, and then they run it against them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't see your screen still. So.
Oh hell, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
And that almost got me. It didn't quite get up there. Trying to get out of another block up here.
Just another block of 30.
And volume's pretty dead at the moment, so.
Yeah. Which is good. I mean, I guess that helps the idea of this thing grinding and floating up, you know.
They're at lunch, that's why.
Yep, it is lunch.
And Matt's making the bags. Yesterday he had a good day. Today he's got another damn good day.
Yeah, 1250 today, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. That's pretty good. Apparently, your style you're talking about, Magnum, is very Wyckoff-ish.
What is that?
He was a trader back in like what 70s, 80s, or something like that. That popularized a specific style of trading.
Huh.
Has like a whole setup where it's talks about the different like it's like different setups that the market goes through, different phases. There we go. That the market goes through. Talks a lot about springs and accumulation, distribution type of stuff.
Interesting.
Which is basically another concept of supply and demand at its core. But it was really like popularized when technical trading was still coming into its prime in like the 70s and 80s.
Huh. So is he interpreting volume the way that I'm trying to interpret volume here as well? I
No,
guess.
not that I'm aware of. Somebody else may be able to speak to that better, but as far as I'm aware, his is mostly based on phases.
Okay.
And price action patterns. Meat Trader said yes, that it's that he interprets volume the same way.
Oh wow. I need to do some research.
Oh, he just means for the trapped parties piece.
Oh.
Although I don't think he ever did volume analysis like this, to be honest. Not that I've ever studied or seen, but maybe it's in a book or something somewhere that I haven't read.
I mean, there's so many people done this over the years. They's bound to somebody share something. Got to have.
Oh yeah, there we go. DRRF posted a picture of the phases in the chat. You get a chance. That's pretty much what it is.
Man, we rolling, boys. Oh. Damn, that looks like some shit Faceless would do. Phase A. B.
I always have a problem dealing with trying to set up a chart to look like a Wyckoff event and phases chart.
Yeah.
Never could quite get it down. I do like the out of the sideways price action. Looking at the springs, though, I think the springs is probably the most important concept in all of it.
I like that because it looks like to me he's waiting for the breakout. You know, like what, like kind of like how I play my levels or whatever. I wait for the breakout to pull back into it and then take off. You know,
Yeah.
it looks like the spring type.
Yeah, the springs are great because they really do show trapped parties the best, right? And I mean, in typical sideways, price action, when you start talking about ranges in general, then that's a key concept, right? Is that however far the pendulum moves one way outside of it, it's bound to move that much on the other side as a measured move. And then you end up getting trapped buyers or sellers based on which way it came into the range.
Yep. Yep. You know, I think that's pretty important in terms of, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a good trader and I'm a good trader, how the hell am I going to take money away from you? You know what I mean? It's realistically who's got the most money and who can withstand the most risk. So realistically, we're all taking money from the guys that are less experienced. You know what I mean? And where are they likely to make the most amount of mistakes? You know what I mean? And that's it. They're buying tops and selling bottoms. And it's like, well, how do you get there? You know what I mean? Um, it's kind of a different approach to the market. It's kind of like a malicious, not really malicious, but yet, um, you damn sure, taking away from folks, for the most part.
I don't. In futures, I doubt that's a thing. To be honest, it's not penny stocks. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I mean, think about who we're up against here on the average.
Yeah.
Who's moving this market, right?
It
If you're
ain't me.
telling me retail traders are moving the market,
You know.
you know what I mean?
No, yeah,
No,
exactly.
we're taking bits and pieces off of the big guys who are, losing out on, 0.1% of their money basically.
You're right.
That's all it is it's like scalping bark off a tree, right? That's what we're basically doing here. It's
Yeah.
not it's not malicious or anything like that. We're not like, you know, we're not taking it from the little guy who doesn't know what he's doing. He's getting fucked by the big guys, and the big guys are shedding off some of the profits to us, to the good traders, basically. Just the way it goes.
Sure. He posted something here. Oh, he's got a whole article on this stuff. Holy smokes. Hey, we might have some trap traders right here.
Demand over supply. Interesting area for that.
It is a very interesting area.
That shouldn't be any demand there, actually. That level would be way lower. CD. Huh.
And I'm gonna have to do some studying on this. That's pretty sporty. There might be some stuff that I ain't got added to this that I could add to it or something, and I don't know it.
Maybe. To give this a thorough looking later on today.
We might get us a bounce right here. This might be it. If we can keep volume below it, we would have trapped all them guys right there.
Well, yeah, we do got another box, huh? think T-Gain's back next week.
Is he?
Yep.
After traveling the world?
Yep. I messaged him and he got back to me the other night. He's telling me that he was still out traveling the States, so it'll be back next week.
Spending some of that rusty money he's got.
Yep.
All them $2,000 days added up for 365 days.
Pretty much, dude. I was like, dude, how the flipping hell do you keep getting $2,000 days back to back? My
It's like,
God.
it was every day. He was,
He did it for like 3 weeks straight from just me counting, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? How?
he's a beast.
Uh,
He's a beast.
even with my understanding of supply and demand, I still wasn't able to recreate it the same way he was doing it. I was just like, damn, dude. Apparently, he used to manage money at a freaking bank at some point. Too.
No, that's what he's telling me.
I was like, damn. Full-time trader now or something, I'm guessing, but
He's
He's like, many people weren't coming into the banks, so I became a full-time trader.
yeah.
Sorry, you were saying something, Magnum?
T-Game was like, there's no way in hell I'd ever take you serious about trading. That's what he told me.
I still have yet to see your interview with Top Step. I need to go find it and watch
Man, I
it.
don't fit the mold, brother.
Huh?
I said I don't fit the mold. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Of what you'd expect from a trader's aspect.
I don't know what most people expect from a trader's aspect, to be honest.
You're trading on personal right now, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I was like, dude, you're giving Top Step all their money.
No, man, there's no way you could trade this much size with Top Step, and I mean, it'd be stupid. You know what I mean?
Well, you could. You just have to build up for a lot longer.
Yeah, but then why would you give that much away? You know?
No, not at all. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to give all that away and then have to deal with taxes on top of that.
Oh man, it's
no fucking thanks, dude.
At the end of the day, man, it's like 67%. Roughly is of so when you're dealing with Top Step, I mean, you take their 20%, right? You take that 20%, and then you take the taxes out of it. You're left with basically nothing. You know what I mean? Like versus the 67% of personal. So it's like, why? Why? It's a perfect stepping stone. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense for it to be a long-term relationship, and build size with them. But, short term, it makes a ton of sense.
Well, you look at how much people actually took out, right? And they're like, oh, over 2 million, like it was over X amount was taken out, and they were saying how many traders they had, and I'm like, that makes it to where literally if every trader took out like $100, only $100, and you're saying you have like 2,000 successful traders, and they only took out like $100 each.
Yeah, they're weird about that shit.
I think Top Step's a hell of a good platform. I think they're a hell of a good company to teach you. You should almost pay them to teach you, which I guess you do if you're paying for a combine. But the shit that they teach you in risk management is most important. I had been trading a long time before I even messed with Top Step, and was a profitable trader before I even come to Top Step. But it was one of them deals where, hell, it was stuff I got from Top Step in terms of the risk management side of stuff that I needed, but I didn't know I needed. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I took away a lot from it. So I mean, I feel grateful for that, but it's just tough to make big money. It's tough to. I mean, it's all right. You can probably supplement an income with it, through Top Step, but if you're looking to do bigger things, then it would be tough, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you really think about it, like the states that it's going to be hardest to deal with Top Step in are pretty much New York and California.
Yeah.
And that 65% probably not too far off from what you get. I mean, you should be expecting maybe 50% of the money that you make is going to come back to you if you were to drain your whole account.
Yep.
For taxes, I mean, like for every, assuming you made like 100,000 trading, 80,000 is going to come to you, 20,000 is going to go to Top Step, and then the taxes are going to be pretty much capital's gain tax.
Yeah.
Plus the state tax. So you're going to get hit with what, a 45% bucket. Well, you'll get a scaled up version of the 45% bucket, and then you'll get up to like 21% for California and New York state taxes, which is going to hurt quite a bit. Basically be paying like fucking $30,000 in taxes between the two.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, like you just said, you're not even accounting for the 20% out of the 100K. So it's, man, it's just tough.
You're not looking at a pretty time. However, if you can get to 200,000, you actually fare a little bit better. And you'd pay probably just under 60,000, roughly 65,000, something like that. And that would be worth it because you'd be just under the next level of tax bracket.
Yeah.
I would honestly, if I would, if I was going through Top Step to try to be profitable, I would achieve that if I could. And then from moving forward from there, man, I would just make every withdrawal that I possibly could make from Top Step and open up my personal account, and I'd just keep padding that personal account, and I wouldn't take a dime out of it, and I would just add and add and pad and add and pad, and keep Top Step, because it has its purpose, but I'd really focus on that personal as much as I could, because I mean you're going to get more in your pocket at the end of the year, by doing it.
Damn these
Question
bastards.
for you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about, obviously pass the combine and obviously get funded. But from there, I need to supplement an income, basically my wife's. But when I say supplement, I'm talking 25, 35,000 a year. Profitable or not profitable to stick with Top Step?
It's definitely doable to stick with Top Step and doing that.
Oh, yeah.
However, you run the main issue that you run with trading Top Step and being under kind of the high pressure situation of wanting to supplement an income. You run into a timing issue, right? So you're basically 3 months of Top Step combine to funded, and then you may trade that, and then when they close your account, if you break a rule or something and they close your account, you're basically a month out from that money coming in and then having to open a new broker account with the money that you made. So you could be losing up to 4 or 5 months worth of time trading by sticking with Top Step, which is a consideration you should make.
Yeah, I'll get that. I'm just kind of thinking about the future wise. And I kind of figured that as much. So appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, is anybody still on with me here on this deal?
Yep.
Oh man,
I'm with you.
Awesome.
I actually got a question for anybody who's actually got paid and got a tax filing from Top Step. Did they give you a 1099 that's basically like you're a contractor, or did they give you a 1099 that shows like futures trades to report?
You're a contractor. Yep. Yeah, I mean you're taxed as a contractor, so you're able to write some stuff off. But
yeah, because if that's the case, you don't get the favorable split on the futures trading. Then it's straight up like you're a plumber and you go to somebody's place and do the work, you get paid. You know,
That's right. It's not favorable. I mean, it is at the beginning, but then you got to withdraw yourself from it and start leaning toward a personal if you're really going to try to make some money. You know. And this thing right here is just doing sporty, ain't it? This morning we questioned this thing, but by golly, she has turned the corner for us.
Does anyone know how long these combine deals are going on for?
Well, I don't know, but it does count for like you can just buy it and then it will stay for a full year until 2022.
That's awesome.
So you just can't start it, of course.
Never the problem of. It's always a problem of how much capital I have at the moment.
Well, I mean, even if you do what's the 50K one? I think it's like one with the discount, it's less than 110.
Yeah.
Or it's like 110, 115.
Standard discount. I really want that 150K, but I'd have to wait for 10 more days. That's why I want to know if they're going to still have it or not.
I think they'll have it until like probably the end of the month.
So
if not until like August.
I would love to get paid the end of the month and then freaking be able to purchase one.
There's a lot of folks looking at this right here right now, so be mindful. This move right here up on high volume may get faded.
Yeah, no, I already took profits. I was like, because I got back in at at 62, so I took those 30 points.
You had another perfect bounce there, Magnum.
Yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
Off the 68, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was perfect.
Rejection candle, just boom.
We are inside that range that we were talking about before with Globex low 110 to 120 range.
Yep. I've got an order sitting up at 7. Why do I have that?
And weren't you buying afterwards? You were buying like just after, right?
No, I've got a pivot set right here from yesterday, so I've got an order sitting there.
You might actually get all your orders off today.
Man, I hope so. We'll be rolling.
Yeah.
That's my tractor.
And what were we talking about? If we see $1 on the VIX, dollar to the downside on the VIX, we'll see 700 on the NQ.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened. $1 on the VIX, $1 plus actually on the VIX, and then what? 100?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
I'm gonna be hard pressed to believe how this right here will not absolutely. If you can follow this system and you can be true to it and not try to front run some of this stuff, I don't see a reason in the world this right here can't get you through a combine first go around. You know what I mean? Within the first couple days, setups like this.
Hey Magnum, I know a lot of people joined late. Would you want to re-explain it again, if you don't mind, or are you concentrating on what's it doing right now?
Yeah, we'll go through something if you want to. I've just got orders sitting up there, so they'll hit or they won't.
Magnum, the main thing with the strat and being the combine killer in general is just going to be how well people let things run.
Yeah.
So you may want to consider targets, going over targets that you would consistently use.
That's true. Maybe like some of these levels.
Talk about it. Yeah. So when you think about talking about it, that's another key consideration I think you should make.
Yeah. So I need to keep in mind of like what we just seen right here on these profit taking bars up into a level and it have higher volume spikes, and then maybe take a long from a level to a level rather than trying to re-enter. I don't know how to package this up, man. That's my biggest problem, I guess, with it is I just don't know how to package it properly to where It helps worse. It helps more than it hurts. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can give you a few ideas on how to do so. We can go over it, put it into a document if you want.
I think that'd help.
There's a few ideas that I had on it, that on targeting base structure. There's so many different ways that you could do it too. My favorite is is looking left and looking at all the different inflection points where they could turn it, like the pockets idea that buy high does. I think that's probably one of the more solid ones actually. But you can also use your, looking for the institutions selling into a level or whatever else it is.
Yep.
So we saw two clear exits by big institutions that you could have waited for.
Yep.
And that would have netted you from this morning, what, 70, 80 points per contract?
Every bit of it, yeah.
So,
hell, it'd been 100 points. From you
Thanks.
65 up to 65. Yeah, it's 100 points you would have made.
yeah, there's, things like pivot points too that you could go off of as far-reaching targets. I think you just make mention of all that and let them decide ultimately. But
Yeah, this is the indicator that I was using for the levels. This guy here, he just put together this thing. I mean, all it is pivot points. I mean, it's nothing
there you go.
too sporty. I mean, nothing special. I just got basically what he's got. These are kind of like, so you see these red lines and green lines. They're just kind of like an imbalance of buyers and sellers. I mean, I don't know how good those actually are. I just kept them up, but all the levels are, I mean, they're just generic levels, and you got a previous day high and low, but outside of that, it's pretty daggum nothing special. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, but that'll be something worth noting later on because, as we learned with the first Magnum Cloud strat, that took a lot of explaining and a full document to really get down. So
yeah,
we can put together a document.
I think I think the best way that we could package this thing up would be good for everybody because, I may just have a pretty damn simple way of explaining it, and then if it gets too hard to explain there after that, I'm just like, well, um, I may get to where it's hurting folks worse than helping them, then that's not the idea for sure.
Nah, if I was able to pick it up in one session, I'm sure everyone else will be able to.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's not that hard. The idea of it's pretty simplistic.
Yeah.
But I mean, like being able to I don't know how to explain this good enough. Like if you understand, just monitoring the health of this move. You know what I mean? Like, are we starting to crack through some of these levels? And if so, what does that mean? Okay, especially if you've got orders hanging out up here. Well, hey, bring them in. Go ahead and take profit because otherwise this thing's going to probably roll over on you. You know what I mean? Versus if everything's healthy and this is just a grind up, well, keep your targets up there. You know what I mean? But I don't know how do you convey that message to somebody that hasn't been doing this for a minute. That's that's the hard part for me, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
How do you convey that this shouldn't be bailed on? You know what I mean? Like this morning, how, you know what I mean? I could see how easy it would be for people to bail on this move right here and then get stopped out all of a sudden to see it run up 150 points. You know what I mean? That'd piss anybody off.
Your mechanical system was perfect though. Like it wasn't like it was failing for any reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As we came down and whatnot, we had some big volume spikes, and near the bottom we had arguably one of the biggest volume spikes at 638, right? before you're even in your trade.
Yeah.
You take the bottom of that and you wait for it to come back into there. We had a perfect rejection candle at 713 and 714. You got long off of that, and you're in this trade for 150 points basically. Even if you're in late, you're still in early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
64 level. You got in. You front ran it on something that you saw.
Yep.
Because you were in at
64.
roughly 650 or something like that. Maybe even before that. Maybe even 648, 649 on the upswing before it came back and retested the levels.
But I also think that, it's going to come down to people's just appetite, right? Like, to your point of like, I don't know how you're going to convey, you can just hold on there, because some people, like me included, I saw it go down. I was like, no, I don't like this. It's too much for me. Whereas someone from like you who's experienced, like, I can eat some of this because I'm confident this is going. So I mean, it's just going to come down to the individual at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the old me, there's no way in hell that I would have held on to all this. You know what I mean? Like the old, new Magnum, starting trading Magnum. There's no way I could have held this. But like, I don't know how to convey this, that this is all okay. This is healthy. This is good, without, somehow giving them experience that they don't have yet. That's the tough sell. Because realistically, the only way this is the actual combine killer is if you got long here and you sold up here with 2 contracts. You know what I mean? With little risk on the table. But how do you convey that each of these moves up was a healthy move and there was no reason to get out?
Wow, that's up to the individual and why we were talking about targets earlier, right? Because let's say we took the first trade at the 65 level, right? At the 565, you had a potential exit at 587 for 20 points. You had a potential exit at the 600 level. You had a potential exit at 620.
Yeah.
So it's either you trust and you're going for the big moves and you see something up above, or you take your profits on the way up. If it were me and I was trading strictly like a 50K combine and I was playing it super safe, 1 contract, 2 contracts, or I'm digging out of a hole or something like that, depending on the situation, obviously.
Digging out of a hole here.
Yeah, I'd be taking those first exits and just slowly working the process in until I'm comfortable with it. So whatever first exit is, right? In this case, it would have been 20 points. So then you wait for the next setup, and your next setup comes, roughly like 7:30, like 15 minutes after your exit. A little bit longer than that, 20 minutes after your exit or whatever. You get in long again, and then you take your first exit, which was, a 20-point increase over the next 10 minutes. So it's really that's why I said we need to take into account the exits more than anything, or the targets, is give people some ideas as to what to use, right? Because the targets are going to be different for everybody. I think highs and lows of previous days is great, albeit you get kind of confused as to where you should be taking an exit, because you're looking at a week ago and 2 weeks ago, and this particular day's high or close was at this time. Looking left on the chart, looking for those basically those pockets, it's probably one of the best ways that you can do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, if you can sell into pockets, that's.
I mean, look at the pockets above the 640 level. Basically, where are the pockets above 640? If we look left on the chart, so it looks like we got a small pocket there at 670 roughly.
Yep.
Somewhere in there, right? That's a perfect exit for an entry at, what was this entry at?
658.
Like the one earlier was like 600 or something, and then there was another one at 658. There you go.
Yeah.
You have a perfect pocket at
Literally, I mean, it went right into the pocket over here. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then that would have been a perfect entry.
yeah, so where's the next pocket above that for an exit? You know what I mean? It's just looking left and deciding. When we're in all-time highs, obviously you can't do that, but
Yeah, true.
we're not in all-time highs most of the time, so.
Yeah. It looks like
I mean,
our next
look-
pocket somewhere up in 7.
No, you got one lower than that.
Oh yeah.
You got one at 7. What is that, like 710? That spike.
Yeah, we got a pocket right here. Yeah, 707-ish. Yep.
So there you go. That's what you hold for.
All
Hold
right.
for those pockets, right? Those targets.
Let's mark that out real quick. All right, we got a pocket there. We got a pocket here.
Yep.
726 as well.
Pocket's already been used up. Let's try another pocket up here.
Yep. Then that low. Yep. Perfect. So then those are pretty much your target levels that you're looking for that are likely to hit on the day, just based on what the options market's doing.
Yeah.
You don't even have to really think about it. I mean, it's just you mark it on the chart and you use those as targets.
Damn it, Pro Shot, you won't make me get long. Three more here, damn it. We got target.
That's just the thought process behind it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be super difficult. I also like the idea of, if you see institutional players selling, right? Like those candles that we were talking about earlier, right?
Yep.
When they're at tops and they're increasing volume, red volume basically at tops, they're selling into that buying pressure. Got to consider those, as possible exit points too, because you could see, 50% of what you made diminish in the matter of a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Especially on the NQ. Especially on the NQ.
Yeah. He will punish. Agreed.
We just made 1%, about 20 points ago on the NQ, right? So anything before 1% pretty much can reverse and go all the way back down to
nothing
again. So now that we're at the 1% mark, typically we're going to see, us range or us push to 2%.
Yep. Let's see how she does at this pocket right here.
She's a reaching.
Yep. Oh, I'd like to see what institution guys are doing in these pockets, right? How do we look in terms of volume in relative terms? Because we know how we reacted over here. Wonder how we're going to react into those.
Well, they're about to just get back from lunch, so be interesting.
It'd be interesting to see get the same type of relative volume into those pockets, and I guess it would let you know who all's looking at this thing.
Let me see here. Okay. So I also see, looks like she had another meeting, so that ran up until noon, so she may just be a few minutes late.
Pocket was hit for sure.
Hello.
Yep.
We didn't get that big, strong push though away from it. Like there was a ton of. That doesn't mean that it can't happen. There's still 33 seconds left on the bar, but
yeah, that's how when I passed my first combine, that's how I did it. Was looked at those pockets, marked them up, took contract off every time there, looked for a new setup.
Yep.
And after that, I just didn't care. I was like, hey, my stuff hit.
Yep.
And that's when I was getting 50 points per contract for a while there. 50, 70 points per contract, etc.
Nice. I mean, that's a beautiful spot. Take one off.
Yep. Hard to argue with 60 points from the entry. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we should see some sell back down, right? And then pop back up to 33 based off if it's healthy. If not,
I'm sorry, I caught about half of what you were saying there. What was that?
so you were talking about earlier about like if it's healthy, it's gonna fall down a little bit, come back up, fall back down, come back up, and it's continuously hitting those targets. So if it's healthy right here, it's gonna fall. It should theoretically fall down a little bit and then come back up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you know, when you start seeing these big old huge bars and a lot of volume come into it, there's one of two things that's going on. All right, you've got sellers down here that reach max pain, and they're having to buy into this. It's causing a squeeze. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Or, you know, you've got new buyers stepping in or something, but ideally you want to see this thing kind of rotate in and rotate out, rotate in and rotate out, you know, at decision points, right? So, you know, the next time we see an exhaustion point, like, let me get back over here, something like this or something like this, you know, there's nothing wrong with you seeing people take profit. You know what I mean? It's just when you start seeing these kinds of bars, it's a little bit concerning due to the fact of why that happened. You know what I mean? I get that this was the overnight high, so maybe that was the case that there was a bunch of orders to be filled. You know, when price got up there and it just they were limit buys and they just took on off. You know what I mean? But at some point right here, we need to see some type of healthy pullback, maybe into some structure. Maybe this pocket would be a good spot for it to, you know, kind of go up and then pull back into this pocket.
What we do with customers, but then there are other, you know, obviously other sites that we are.
It's where the higher time frames really come in handy at this point.
Yep. Because this right here doesn't look good. I mean, it's beautiful if you're long, but this is not healthy. Something, there was a bunch of people that had to be upside down or panic buy into this.
It is very hard to not want to just FOMO in right now.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the
I'm not.
See right here? See this big volume bar? There was big money took profit into this level. Well, never mind. This is a short squeeze, fellas.
Yep. You look at the 5 minute. We've done nothing but go up. It looks atrocious. When we have a pullback, it's going to be pretty big.
Real question is, Magnum, are you going to be trading that pullback?
No, man, I ain't trading that pullback.
It's going to be done.
Yeah.
Going to have 100K on the day.
100K in the morning, 100K at night. No big deal. Big dick energy.
That's right. Have you tried this at Globex at all?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I tried it all last night.
Works at Globex, huh?
Oh, beautiful.
Wow. That's pretty rare.
It actually is. It's cleaner in Globex, to be honest with you.
I would find ES to be borderline untradeable at Globex.
It's so funny because there's so many more people that like get trapped during Globex. I mean, the moves are not as big, obviously, but the opportunities are more abundant. You know, smaller moves, but still they're more abundant. I guess it's because, you know, nature of the beast there.
Yeah. I'm looking to stay in.
I'm gonna take one more off right here.
Okay. Well, where are we right now?
Order filled.
So currently, as I mentioned,
Sell.
on the previous call,
Magnum sold.
I've got one more block that I have got, and I'm just going to see what happens from here.
is directly within the LMS.
All right. Well, I got to take off. You guys have a good rest of the day. Enjoy your trading.
Good luck with the farm. Yeah, great farm.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, I'm gonna go break shit. You know, usual. So
Use off, stomp on some grapes.
Hell yeah. No, fuck that, dude. That stuff comes in a soup. You
Oh
guys
shit!
ever seen a truckload of grapes? It's all soup.
Is it really?
Yeah. Comes in just bunch of juice and a few grapes everywhere, and
Is it fermented a little bit?
yeah, a little bit
That hot?
fermented.
Yeah.
You got sticks and bugs and dead snakes and everything in between.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's not great. It's not great. They got to measure the mog that comes out of that shit out of every single truck and has to hold under
Yeah.
a certain level for the state.
Damn.
Pretty gross.
It's just like with
actually.
chocolate, you can have a certain amount of bug particles in it.
Yeah, it's pretty gross if you actually get down to the nitty gritty, but they obviously filter it through the whole process, but like it's pretty atrocious, man. When it
Jesus.
comes in off the trucks, it's cool to see the grapes get crushed though, but
That's
everything
nuts.
else about it.
I do it with my bare feet and I don't wash them for days.
Ugh. It's like tomato farming.
Oh goodness.
All right, guys, we'll see you later.
See you,
Have a
buddy.
good day, guys.
See you.
Have a good one, man.
So here's the healthy pullback. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I mean, you had guys taking profit into this level, big players. You know what I mean? Because we put in some high volume there, at the top. So therefore, we know we had guys taking profit here. We had guys taking profit here. So now we're looking for which that was a pocket that's already been done away with. I'm gonna delete it so I ain't getting confused. Keep them above me. So now we're just looking for trap sellers, right? That might sell at the end of this move. So we're looking for some volume to roll in here at the bottom of one of them moves. And then we'll just take the box and move it up. Rinse and repeat.
Nice.
I'm going to move my stop, man, on this last three somewhere up in here. Because, I mean, we could come down here and test this overnight.
Maybe the bottom of that big bar.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. But I'm just going to protect what I got on them last few there.
That's a long sell bar. Jesus. 710 to 705. Keep going.
It is. But, there ain't that damn much volume attached to it.
No one's buying in.
Exactly.
It's the phone system, so we do use the call metrics, the ACD information.
Now we might go on a liquidity search.
How well things are going. It also allows us to see if there are any perhaps ongoing issues with the phone calls or with phone calls coming in or going out. So basically, just all of those phone metrics we're able to, to currently track.
What's the VIX looking like?
That we have now. And I don't know, Sugar Terry.
I mean, it's still making lower highs and lower lows at the moment.
Would also allow us to do that.
The VIX has got it's got a gap that could be filled right here around 1846. Then it's got an overnight low of 1926, or not overnight, yesterday's low that it could touch.
And it's just saying at 2003 right now. So
Please feel free,
no,
ask me any questions and I'll answer as best I can.
Lower highs, lower lows.
let's see.
I mean, and it pivoted off the pivot pretty much. These are tight, so therefore, there again, it's one of them deals where it's a trendy type of deal. You would expect a trending day, and it's trended down all day. I kind of like it for lower prices, which is going to help NQ longs. If we can find some trap sellers, would be a good spot to play ball. I mean, I'm not looking to add anything here. I'm just looking to, babysit these last
It's a little bit of both. So, for
You.
instance, on the
block here.
feedback, this is actually information that customers provide to us, whether it's suggestions, compliments, or complaints. So, if it's suggestions, it's logged as such, and then depending on what it is, it may get forwarded on, to another department. If
I
it's
don't know.
compliments,
I mean,
that
I'm gonna
information
set
is
them up here
handled
close to
through
this and see if it ever get there. I don't know. It might.
and then also if
Can't.
it's a complaint,
Doing 93?
it's logged
Yeah.
as
Jesus
such,
Christ.
and then we also go back
Shooting for the moon.
to see if it's
Yeah. Why not? We done. We done went. We done went to.
resolve that
Uranus.
complaint for the customer.
Yeah. We done went to
This way, it allows us
halfway
to see
there.
that, well,
We passed Bezos.
it wasn't just this customer who had an issue. Let's say
He's suborbital. Okay.
if it's a maintenance issue where the site is down or something like that, customers will complain about it.
Blades
Even though we,
short
put
right
up
now
the website,
on the ES.
we're going to be down for
How's the
maintenance
ES
from
looking?
this time to this time. Customers will actually still complain about it.
Jesus
Send an
Christ.
email,
Is
and when we respond,
is faceless still on damn where I am?
the link and complain about it. But that allows us to see that, okay, well, this is a complaint.
I don't know who
but
Faceless is. Couldn't tell
this
you.
is the reason why they were complaining. So we know that it's not something that we have to actively look into. Whereas if it's something for a course, hey, 281 was down, and from there we can say, okay, we see that 281 is down, and maybe all of these
33,634
so it
is where he
allows
was
us to,
long.
I guess, for lack of a better term, track where the information is coming from and any potential issues. So it allows us, even though it's in hindsight, it allows us to see
That guy,
what
I
has
swear,
transpired, and it allows us to actually
he is an animal.
forward, maybe stop that from happening.
Complete animal.
Correct. Yes. So right now that is handled through the Cisco system. So there's a site that I can go to where I can actually view all of the call metrics. So the so the agent summary, it tells me how long their longest phone call.
Where's this volume coming from?
Phone call, how long they may have been.
I think it's just a lack of sellers, man.
So it provides all of that information.
Like,
so for me,
A lack of one side of the other.
yeah, there's only been 500 sales this 1 minute.
As a backup,
But it just
also shows
not up.
because they have to actually log into the system. It allows me to see if someone didn't sign in on time.
One's waiting on to see what the other one does.
Someone worked through their lunch or logged out.
Exactly.
It allows me to track all of that information.
Look at that, man. Right, that ES right into the stinking box of yesterday and just pinged off of it with big volume. Somebody took a lot of profit into that.
Comes up, I always have that record that I could refer back to.
Is that not beautiful?
Beautiful if you're in it.
Man, yeah, I mean, we called it, right? We were looking at it this morning, the trap sellers, the buy up, the trap sellers, the buy up.
Well, you were thinking about switching over. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the ES.
That's a beautiful trade. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Well, if I'm understanding the question correctly, so essentially what we would do.
Now the thing is, can they break through it?
Provide the information to the customer. So I'll say, for instance, if there's a form that a customer may need to fill out, then a lot of times what we'll do is we will include the form in the email, but then also include a link to the website. Oftentimes, by clicking on the link, it may not take them directly to that particular form, but it will take them to a page that has several forms, whether it's for transcripts, transfer credit, or whatever it may be. That way, they're seeing more than what they're asking for. In that regard, it helps to potentially, I should say, prevent them from calling back with a similar question because they're seeing, okay, well, here's the other form that I may need anyway, so let me just click on this. And then it also gives them the opportunity or maybe encourages them to search around the website just to see what else is available. But while we definitely do our best to answer their questions, but we do try to provide that additional information so that they'll have it going forward.
I'd say volumes. It's gonna be tough to get a good read on volume here until after lunch sometime, probably. It's that tough part of the day where, you can't really get no good, something good to base anything off of. Kind of like trading right there, right ahead of open. Tough to get any good read on it.
Imagine if you got all four ways of that. So like you were in before, and then you sold down at like 20, and then came back up.
Sporty.
Because I was in a long before it opened this morning, and it went down. I think I sold around like 70, and then it like bounced back up to like 85, and I think it went back down to like 60 or 50, and then just pushed.
Then the crazy push. Oh, I don't know where these last threes will take us. I mean, I think the biggest part of our trade's done today. Just kind of hang on to a runner.
Yeah, I will. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kelly.
That's the only thing I can think of why this thing right here would have got why this volume or why this bar was so stinking huge on big volume. It had to be folks having playing the breakout and then folks having limit buy orders above yesterday's high. You know what I mean? Which would have caused another breakout. I can't imagine that you would have had enough shorts trapped right here that they would cause this kind of a squeeze. Doesn't make sense. It's got to be that. Either way, that bar seems like it would mean something.
Maybe some of the people that were trapped back at 1108, or was that the profits?
Yeah, that was the profit. Yeah, people taking profit.
Profit.
1108, 1114. I mean, the next trap area was way down here. I mean, ain't no way these folks are holding it that long. It had to be just breakout traders from the top of this and then the overnight for yesterday's high. limit buy orders sitting there waiting. Which would make me think that maybe we retest this 682.
That also helped complete a measured move from yesterday on the up move. That bar was completed.
Okay. That'd make more sense. Get some more confluence going on there.
What was the measured move from?
That was from the lows of yesterday at 14,445, and then the pullback from this morning that helped. And then that big bar Magnum was talking about, that bar helped fill the measured move. So it was short, almost like 15 points of the measured move, and then it filled it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I stretched last night before bed. I woke up this morning, and the one thing I didn't stretch was, so I stretched one hand. I didn't stretch my left hand. The one thing I didn't stretch felt like absolute shit in comparison to the rest of my body. Man, I'm gonna continue stretching all year long.
I'll tell you, man. The older I get, the more I need to stretch. I used to
Dude.
jump out of bed like it was no damn problem. Nowadays, I get out of bed and I'm like, oh my.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I injured myself opening a window yesterday, and I'm only 38. Terrible.
It is terrible. I was coughing today and damn, felt like I broke a rib. I said, what the?
Actually, so I've had knee surgery. I mean, on one knee twice. And like there was a few years ago, I was just like I woke up and I was like, holy hell, what the this feels amazing. Cuz I like how you have a dull ache and you deal with it, right? But then when it actually gets healed, it was like that, dude. I like for over a year and something, I was just always like I knew of it, right? But then I woke up one morning and it was just felt I was just like a young spring chicken on that leg.
That was post surgery, you mean?
No, dude, that was years post surgery. Cause like
wow.
I've torn two of my meniscus, twice or three times technically. So I'm thinking it might have it finally healed a few years back, but but I mean, I woke up and I was like, I just laid in bed just like shocked, like moving it back and forth and turning it, and I'm like, oh my god, felt like
kind of like that scene in Click where he wakes up, fast forwards to his cold, it's all completely gone.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, Magnum, have you been going over your new strategy? I missed like your entire session here. I just logged on.
Yeah, man. That's basically all we've been doing all morning long is just trading the new little strategy. Just trying to.
Nice. Did somebody record any of it or?
No, I mean, I'm not even to be honest with you. I was actually trying to. I realized how unprepared I was when Pro Shot, or I think he changed his name to Moonshot now, but anyhow was telling me stuff that I wasn't even aware of about some of this strategy that would help convey the message a little better. So, I be honest with you, man. I don't know how to package it good enough. I mean, I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, I've made $50,000 with it this morning, but
God.
I don't know how to package it to where everybody understands it, and it's going to help everybody better than it's, more so than it's going to hurt everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
is this the one where you're looking at the high and the low of the overnight, and you're coming down 110 and up 110 and finding your levels? Oh, okay.
No, this one here is just taking advantage of trap buyers and trap sellers.
Gotcha.
In typically the direction of the trend. With the idea that, new or unsuspecting traders are, typically buying the top and selling the bottoms, and then we're getting on the same side of the trade as big money and running against them. You know what I mean? Is basically what the strategy is based upon.
It's basically a volume and then looking for the big volume bar that's both like and trapping them.
Yep. Yep. I'll show you the example here.
Oh no, wait, let me screen record.
Let's see where we were this morning. It's probably easier to show you on the ES. It's got a lot cleaner shit going on here. So, like right here at the opening of the morning, you see how you had a big sell volume come in? Right at the open. Let me lock this thing down. And basically what you look for is you look for that imbalance, right? You want to see the most amount of volume come in at the bottom. And what you want to do is you want to draw a box that encapsulates the body of that candle. And what you want to do is you want to see volume dying away from that initial volume spike and price to run up above the box and then come back and test into the box within a rejection candle. But you didn't get quite to the box, but it got right there at it at a level. So the idea is that all these sellers right here got in, and now they're going to be trapped, right? Because the price went above, come back, and you would have took your entry here. And as price started running against it, you've got new buyers coming in. Plus, you've got these guys that are trapped that are become buyers as well, which will most likely lead to a short squeeze or a squeeze of some sort. And
You
then
mean,
you just kind of go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Do you mean they're now becoming buyers because their stops, the shorts or their stops are getting ripped, or?
That's it. They've got to reverse their position here. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you've got old buyers and you've got these buyers. You've got new buyers and you've got these guys that are having to reverse to reverse their positions. Stops getting hit and everything else. And then you've got so that's the idea, right? You find the track sellers. If you're in an uptrend, if you can identify the uptrend or downtrend, that's what you're looking for. So you're just looking for trap sellers. That's all you're doing at the end of the day. And I missed one right here. See how you had a big volume bar right here?
Yeah.
And you see how it was at the bottom? So what you would do is you would draw your box at the body of that candle, right? And then you would wait for a price, or you want to make sure that volume's dropping away from that one that created that big volume bar. Price to go above, come back into that box with a rejection candle and take back off. And that's what it did.
Gotcha.
You see? Same deal over here. You had you had a downtrend, or you had a pullback. Well, if you had big sellers up here, you would see all that volume up here. But no, you didn't. You had big volume come in at the bottom, which lets hey, you got people that are willing to sell the bottom. Well, big money took that the other way, and squeezed them out of the position up to a level. Same deal,
So in the uptrend, we're definitely ignoring the high volume buy bars.
Correct. Right. Yeah, because counter trend trading, you got to be so good and you got to be so fast.
Yeah.
Just trade it with a trend, and you're going to have a ton of sellers. Because you've got people that are thinking they're smarter than this whole move that are willing to try to short the top of this damn thing, or what they thought was the top, but realistically they were shorting the bottom and got squeezed.
And you're just kind of correlating your entries kind of more specifically with your regular like supply and demand, support and resistance levels you have marked there, or?
Yeah, so these were just pivots that I used from this guy right here. It's a novice hedge trader master, whatever. I don't know.
Oh.
Basically, all it is just pivot points, and all it is um, just pivot points. There's nothing super sporty about it. I mean, it's just all it is.
Cool.
And yeah, that's it, man. And you're just finding them. So as long as you can continue this uptrend, you just look for people who have become trapped,
Yeah.
and you play the market, the way that they're playing the market. The big players, so to speak. You just get yourself on the right side of it. Because trust me, I was this guy, I was that guy, and that guy at one point in time in my career. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
my journey, it's we all been there, and we know what that pain feels like.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I always said, I was like, I wish the hell I could get on the other side of that. Well, there you go. This is how you get on the other side of it. You're not that guy. You know what I mean?
You don't want to be, for sure.
No, absolutely not. Man, this NQ is still trucking.
He's been ranging pretty heavy on that 5-minute bar or 5-minute chart.
And you can use this thing on any time frame you want. It doesn't matter what you use it on. I've tried it on everything and it works.
Oh, what is this? A 1-minute just here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The thing about it is that if the bigger the time frame you go up on, the bigger these bars become, obviously. So the less size you can use. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, a little bit harder to distinguish on that.
Like right here, you had sellers at this big bar right here, right? So if we were doing this on a 5-minute chart, I'll tell you what, let's do this right here. This will be easier to see. Let me go to the NQ one. And let me do away with this. Okay, we're on a 5-minute chart. So you had sellers at the open, the highest volume bar, obviously. So we go ahead and mark our box up at the body of that candle. Now keep in mind, this box is a zone. It's not an exact level. So, I mean, ideally you want to see it, touch it at the top, but it can go all the way to the bottom of this box. So your position sizing's got to be acceptable to take a loss from 551 to 593. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially on the NQ.
Yeah, because it could go way down. But the idea is volume drops away from the initial volume spike, whichever it may be. Lower volume, price will run above it, come back into this level and take off. Well, and then it captured, right? It trapped every one of these sellers.
So would you say it's definitely kind of ideal to wait for your price to get out of the box, maybe even have a candle close outside of it, I guess depending on whatever time frame you're looking on, and then come back in and touch the box.
That is correct. Yes, you want to see that rejection candle off the box. This would be considered an indecision candle, but also could be considered a rejection candle. So you'd want to put your order at the top of this candle, right?
Yeah.
On the next bar, you would have got filled, and it took off.
Nice. I like it. I'm glad I finally got in the stream. I was trying to join for like 10 minutes, but it was full.
Oh, hell, there's a limit here, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
I forgot about that, man. Yeah, we run into this problem one time before. We filled a stream up. Well, that's good, man. Everybody's down participating. That's awesome.
Looks like the limit is 50. Yeah, 50.
50 folks. Cool. We're going to have to get us a bigger damn room here. Some more chairs.
Right.
I wonder if you get a bigger room if you're a booster, like a nitro booster.
You know what? I don't know.
You could do a Twitch stream. Haha.
What?
Twitch stream.
Man, I'm doing good to operate within these boundaries right here.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for the demo.
Hey, no problem, man. Like I said, I'm gonna get this thing packaged up a little better. Moonshot's gonna help me kind of get this thing, and maybe some couple more can chime in and help me out. You know how to get this thing packaged up better. You know what I mean? That was the idea today, to kind of just go over it and all that. So I may not be a whole lot changes, but that's the bare bones of it. You know what I mean? The nuts and bolts of it all. So it might get prettier from here. You know.
I like it. It's crisp. His chart's not too crowded. I like it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Well, I think I'm gonna get me some lunch, man. I'm getting a little bit hungry here. That banana bread didn't fill the tank up all the way.
That
Yeah, I hear
monster
that.
banana bread wasn't enough?
I know, man. You'd think, well, I wore it all off, man. Over here shaking my damn leg, jacked up on that monster. All right, guys. I'm gonna give me a bite, Dito. I'll be back here shortly.
I don't know.
All right, take it easy. Anyone else there?
Kind of.
All right. Damn. I was trying to get my OBS set up, and I was like fucking around with it. I got the recording a little bit, but I didn't get the audio.